What's going on, everyone? It's Sheena, aka Sheenapreneur, your favorite veteran. Today I want to talk about how to hire someone to do all the work for you, right? All the work. Of course, it's not going to be all, but most of the work, okay? So just hear me out. Now, we know that when it comes to doing government contracting, the main thing that people ask all the time is, how do I get someone else to do the work? They don't ask in those words, but they use other colorful words that I ain't going to say, that they want someone else to do the work. Now, this is very much so possible because the main premise of having a business, being a business owner, is so you can step back and chill and collect checks, sort of, kind of, right? But really, that is the main premise. You don't see Bezos up in there delivering no packages. Now, did he do that at the beginning? Absolutely. Did he do that in the middle? Pretty much. But now he's on the boat, chilling and living the life, living the lap of luxury, okay? So we may not all get to multi-billion-dollar businesses, but we may get to very much so 7, 8, and 9-figure businesses in government contracting. And that's what I love about government contracting. But you want to make sure that you have reliable people and make sure that you have someone that's going to do the work that you're not good at and that you don't like and that you don't want to do anyway. Because what happens is when you have work that you absolutely don't want to do, you usually procrastinate. And we don't want to procrastinate, especially on things that are super, super important, such as the actual job itself, anything to do with your finances and anything to do with your operations, because that will be the beginning and the end of your business. Grand opening and grand closing. So we don't want that, okay? So one of the ways that you can get someone to do all the work is you just hire a family member. Now, there are some people that have very, very, outstanding family members that have businesses, or they're very professional, or you trust them, great relationship. Maybe you had a business with them before. I have done a video explaining the dangers of hiring family, but that's on you as a business owner and making a sound decision. Don't just hire someone in your family just to be hiring them. You got to do a real assessment, and they should go through the same processes as anyone else that you hire. If you know that your cousin does not have a license, why would you hire them to be your driver? These are some of the things that I know sound a little crazy, but they have to be said. If you know that your another cousin is not reliable, then you probably don't want to hire them anywhere in your company. If your family member is an accountant or an attorney, but they don't know anything about government contracting, don't hire them as your accountant or your attorney. Like, those are just things that you have to really think about, but you should hire family if they are qualified. So everyone in my family, pretty much, my company, Foresight Industries, pretty much everyone in my family has at least touched a broom or something, because that's just, sometimes how it worked. And it was to show them also, this is what I have to do. So, so they can have a good understanding, because sometimes people just don't know what you do in your company, and then it ends up being like, they're not doing nothing, or maybe they're not doing anything significant, or they really just get to see. So hiring a family member can be a really, really good thing for you if it's the most logical thing for you. And eventually, if that person is great at what they do and they love working for you, love working for the company, then you can stay big as presumably the CEO and not have to do any other work that you're hiring them to do. So the next thing would be finding subcontractors. Of course, I talk about this a lot. I've done several videos about subcontracting, how to find reliable subcontractors, but just for the purpose of this video of hiring somebody to do all the work, if you find a contract, this is what you do. You find a contract, something that a proposal or solicitation that you want to do. And I would say it should be something that you already do, or at least a group of things that you already do. My company does facility management, so that means we do janitorial, litter pickup, which is debris removal, painting, drywall, pressure washing. We do, a varying amount of things, but it still falls under facility management. So if I see a whole bunch of pressure washing contracts, I'm going to say, there seems to be more pressure washing contracts than anything. That's kind of how we got into janitorial. There's a lot of janitorial contracts. So I'm like, I need to build a relationship with a janitorial company, or at least a solo janitorial person that does cleaning themselves, because there's still a lot of people who do just cleaning themselves and don't have a staff, which is sometimes okay depending on what I need them for. And then, same thing with pressure washing. I'm seeing a lot of these contracts. I'm going to make sure that I have a reliable pressure washing company. So you want to really, I would say, try to build that relationship first and explain to them, this is what I plan to do. So I'm going to be bidding on contracts for pressure washing. Are you down? Are you good with this? Are you good with working with me? And depending on who they are or how you found them, that could very much so be a great relationship, even though you don't have the contract yet. So, because what happens usually is people will find an opportunity, and this works too. I'm not knocking this, but to me, it doesn't work as well. So people will find a solicitation or something, and they just call a company, call a subcontracting company, or call a company that does pressure washing. And they're like, I got this opportunity. I want you to go out there to the site visit and then report back to me, what we need to do. And you're kind of building your relationship kind of on the unknown. And so sometimes there's nothing stopping that company from going after it themselves. That happened to me a lot at the beginning. And they could go around me very, very easily if it's not like some kind of set aside contract, or it's not some kind of, where it's going to only come to me and they don't have the opportunity to go after it. It's a little, the way you're building the business is a little tricky. So I like to say, if you're going to do pressure washing, you're going to do janitorial, just start building that relationship and letting them know what you plan to do. And then you'll be able to, go after things together. So once that's set though, because that's why I really want to get into that, but once that's set and that relationship is set, then you can easily let them do what they need to do. And then you can just sit back, let them do all the work. The relationship I have with my pressure washing guy / painting guy, because he does a lot of work for me, and he does some masonry work, like concrete work. The relationship I have with him, I don't have to check on him at all. I already know it's going to be in carpet cleaning, actually. I don't have to go back and check on him. I know that the work is going to be done exceptionally well. He knows our process of sending pictures and write-ups every day. I just allow him to be the expert and, take care of the situation, because he's not going to sit down and do all this paperwork for contracting. Not happening. That's not his strong suit. That's not his superpower. And that's cool. Where we excel in my company is that we do the paperwork well. We put in the bids well. We do all those things, pretty well. And so that's where our relationship is like a match made in heaven. So that's a great way for you to build a relationship first, and then you can have someone else do all the other work for you, to where you don't even have to go to the site. You should check on your stuff. We know that. You should check on your stuff. But after a while, if you have a really, really good relationship with the contractor, you usually won't have to go step in. I tell them, if I got to step in, somebody's money's getting cut. But pretty much the contractors that I have already know the deal, and they already know that, they're responsible for all the things. And that's one of the differences, I would say, when it comes to hiring subcontractors in comparison to hiring an employee. So when I hire subcontractors, I just find that they're more likely, of course, to get the job done than an employee, because they're not going to get paid if it doesn't get done. And that's period. That's it. It doesn't even, there's no more conversation to be had. So, it makes it a lot easier to retain people when they're business owners, to me, than it is with employees. We dealt with a lot of that during COVID, when people were getting unemployment, they didn't want to work. And so I was able to keep a lot of my work going because I had contractors. So that leads me to the next thing, is when someone else is doing all the work, and that's when you have employees. Just hiring employees, that's just regular business stuff. I know it's a pain. It could be a pain just depending on what you do. You could actually win a contract and inherit a slew of employees called FTEs, full-time employees. You can inherit them, and that could be a pain. But essentially, they're the person that's building your company. They're the representation of you, and your main job, or at least the culture of your company, is to make them feel like they are, a part of the company, like they matter, and that their voice matters, their opinion matters, and that the work they're doing is being valued. But really, all in all, if you ever think about a company that you worked for as an employee, I'm sure almost everybody that's watching this video has been an employee at least one time, and you were just you were a rep for your company. You were like, our company, my company, you were just all for it. You were really, really proud. That's the kind of culture you need to create, because then those people will ride or die for you. They'll ride or die for your company. And that's what I have. I'm very, very fortunate to have that with my company, Foresight Industries, and even with Sheenapreneur. Now with my new staff for Sheenapreneur, I'm able to, have them buy into the dream of what I'm building, because I believe in the dream as well. So it's not like I'm just like not caring about the dream and then just expecting them to do everything for me, but I expect them to do everything for me when I'm providing a very positive culture for the company. Pretty much. So those are kind of the things that I wanted to mention as far as, how you can have someone do all the work for you. It's very, very simple. Employee, subcontractors, and family. Those are the main ones. And if there's anything I left out, or any method that you have used in your government contracting journey, please leave it in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know if there's something that I missed, or something that you feel like I was off on, or share a story about hiring family members, because I got stories for days. I need to do a whole video on like family, working with family. Lord to the Jesus. It's been rough. It's been rough. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's rough. But of course, my course, GovCon Now, I teach about federal contracting, local contracting, corporate contracting. I have a whole section for my veterans, and I also have a startup section. If you're brand new to government contracting, I help you start up your company and then teach you about those 3 separate contracting tiers. And then of course, if you're a veteran, then you have an extra bonus of learning about how to get information for veterans, for business startup, business funding, business assistance, all these kind of things. And then also just building a community of veterans. And we have a GovCon Moneymakers community, and it is a group where we have over 1,000 people in there now. Every video that I do, I'm like, I'm so proud because the number just keep going up, and we share wins, ask questions, we share information, and it's just spectacular. So I love it, and I would love for you all to join. That's 100% free. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Leave whatever you want to ask, any kind of advice you need, even if it's not related to this video, please leave in the comments. Love to hear what you have to say. But until next time, it's your favorite veteran.